Good morning, children. In the previous class, we discussed about what are polymers and definition for monomer and what is polymerization. And polymers divided into two categories based on the nature of the structural unit, that is homopolymer and copolymer, and examples for that. Then we discussed classification of polymers. Number one, based on the source of availability, they are classified into natural polymers, semi-synthetic polymers and synthetic polymers. Second, classification based on the mode of polymerization, they are classified into two types: addition polymerization, that is chain polymerization, and condensation polymerization, that is step growth polymerization. And then classification based on the molecular forces between the monomeric units, they are classified into four types: elastomers, fibers, thermoplastics and thermosetting plastics. The last one based on the type of the mechanism during the growth of the chain, that is chain growth polymerization and step growth polymerization. And today we discuss about preparation of some important addition polymers. The first one, the polymer given is ethene. First addition polymer is polyethene. Polyethene is derived from ethene. You know the formula of ethene? It polymerizes and gives polyethene. Single bond, double bond should be removed and single bond should be put, and both the side it is extended and n times. It is polyethene. And this polyethene, there are of two types. One is low density polyethene and high density polyethene. Low density polyethene, ethene, and it is heated to 350 Kelvin to 570 Kelvin and the pressure 1000 to 2000 atmospheric pressure in the presence of catalyst dioxygen or peroxide initiators. They are acting as a catalyst, and we get low density polyethene. And this low density polyethene is a highly branched polymer, and it is chemically inert. It is tough, but at the same time it is flexible, and it is a poor conductor of electricity. And where we use this low density polyethene uses, it is used for making wires and squeeze bottles, toys, pipes, etc. And high density polyethene, same ethene is taken and it is dissolved in hydrocarbon solvent. Then the catalyst used here is Ziegler-Natta catalyst. Ziegler-Natta catalyst. It is nothing but a mixture of titanium tetrachloride and triethyl aluminum. And temperature here is 333 Kelvin to 343 Kelvin. Pressure is 6 to 7 atmospheric pressure. We get high density polyethene. It is highly branched, but it is linear, and it is linear, and it is chemically inert, and density is very high because of the close packing arrangement. It is also tough, but it is tougher than low density polyethene. It is harder than LDPE. And where we use this, it is used for making buckets, dustbins, bottles, pipes, etc. So polythene, two types are there, LDPE and HDPE. Second polymer is Teflon, that is polytetrafluoroethene. And Teflon is manufactured by heating tetrafluoroethene with a free radical or persulfate catalyst at high pressures. It is chemically inert and resistant to attack by corrosive reagents, and it is used in making oil seals and gaskets, and also used for non-stick surface coated utensils. We use a non-stick pan, tawa in our house. So it is nothing but Teflon coating. It is coated with Teflon. And how will you get that Teflon? The chemical reaction given here is monomer is CF2 double bond CF2, that is tetrafluoroethene. And catalysts are used high pressure and it is heated. You get Teflon. What is Teflon? It is polytetrafluoroethene. So number one is polythene, second is Teflon. Both are addition polymers. Next is polyacrylonitrile. Polyacrylonitrile, that is PAN. The addition polymerization of acrylonitrile. What is acrylonitrile? Here it is given. CH2 double bond CHCN. It is nothing but what? Cyanoethene. It is acrylonitrile. in the presence of peroxide catalyst leads to the formation of polyacrylonitrile. And polyacrylonitrile is used as a substitute for wool and in making the commercial fibers as Orlon or acrylane. So the reaction is given CH2 double bond CHCN, and now you see both the side it is extended n times, it is polyacrylonitrile, that is PAN. This is vinyl cyanide. Vinyl cyanide or acrylonitrile polymerizes and gives polyacrylonitrile. Step growth and or chain growth, both types we discussed already. One is chain growth, another is step growth. This we discussed. Next is polyamides. These polymers possessing amide linkages are important examples of synthetic fibers and are termed as nylons. The general method of preparation consists of the condensation polymerization of diamines with dicarboxylic acids and also of amino acids and their lactams. So polyamide means, amide linkage means CONH linkage, and CONH linkage, it is obtained between the condensation between diamines with dicarboxylic acids. So bifunctional or trifunctional groups only undergoes condensation. We discussed already what is condensation polymer. Here example given, nylon 6,6. It is coming under condensation polymerization. The linkage is amide linkage. The product what you get is polyamide. Example number 1, nylon 6,6. It is prepared by the condensation polymerization of hexamethylene diamine to amine, bifunctional. Hexamethylene diamine with adipic acid under high pressure and temperature of 553 Kelvin, you get nylon 6,6. And here dicarboxylic acid, it is adipic acid, and from that COOH, OH is removed, and here also OH is removed, and from amino group H is removed, and here also H is removed, and it is extended. So here first they have written hexamethylene diamine, H is removed from this, it is condensed with this adipic acid, and the linkage what you get is CONH linkage. This linkage we call it as amide linkage, and it is a polyamide. It is called nylon 6,6. Why it is called nylon 6,6? Because the first 6 denotes the first monomer. Suppose you take adipic acid, it contains 6 carbon atoms. Same manner here hexamethylene taken is another monomer. It also contains 6 carbon atoms. That's why it is called nylon 6,6. It is used in making sheets, bristles for brushes and in textile industry. I hope you understood this nylon 6,6. It is a condensation polymer obtained from hexamethylene diamine and adipic acid. These undergoes condensation and forming nylon 6,6. Next is nylon 6. It is also condensation polymer only. It is obtained by heating caprolactam. This is called caprolactam. Total 6 carbon atoms are there, and CONH cyclic appearance is there. It is called caprolactam, and it is heated to 533 to 543 Kelvin and gives nylon 6. One side CO and one side NH. And here only one monomer is involved. So it is a homopolymer. And nylon 6 is used for the manufacture of tire cords, fabrics and ropes. Next we discuss preparation of polyesters. From the word ester you can understand where you get esterification. You have studied already in 10th standard. Esterification is a reaction which occurs between carboxylic acids and alcohols. And these are the polycondensation products of dicarboxylic acids and diols. Dacron or terylene is the best known example for this polyester. It is manufactured by heating a mixture of ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. From the word you can understand terry. Terry means terephthalic acid. Lean means ethylene glycol. At 420 to 460 Kelvin in the presence of zinc acetate and antimony trioxide catalyst, as per the reaction given earlier. This reaction we discussed already. Ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. And Dacron fiber is crease resistant and it is used in blending with cotton and wool fibers and also as glass reinforcing materials in safety helmets, etc. So this is nothing but polyester. It is a polyester and a Dacron. Its preparation already we discussed. Next is, please change the heading, preparation of phenol formaldehyde polymer. Actually, phenol polymer. It is not a phenol, preparation of phenol formaldehyde polymers. We discuss now formaldehyde polymer, phenol and formaldehyde polymer. Example, phenol formaldehyde polymers are the oldest synthetic polymers. These are obtained by the condensation reaction of phenol with formaldehyde in the presence of either an acid or base catalyst. The reaction starts with the initial formation of ortho or para-hydroxymethylphenol or ortho and para-hydroxymethylphenol derivative, which further react with phenol to form compounds having rings joined to each other through CH2 groups. The initial product could be a linear product. That product we call it as Novolac, and Novolac is used in paints. You see the reaction now? This is phenol and this is formaldehyde. Actually the formula is HCHO. Here condensed way it is written as CH2O. And this will react in the presence of acid or base catalyst. First step, it is just you get addition product. Here ortho position CH2OH is attached. Already CH2O is there and here hydrogen is there. So it is getting simply attached. You get ortho position CH2OH group plus ortho and para plus ortho, 2 ortho and 1 para. So you get a mixture of these products. And a mixture of that products, we call it as ortho and para hydroxymethylphenol. It is a hydroxymethylphenol. This is ortho-hydroxymethylphenol. This is ortho and para-hydroxymethylphenol. This is ortho and para-hydroxymethylphenol. Position you can mention 2, this 4. This is 2, 4, 6 and here it is 2. Then that condenses with the release of water molecule and forming a polymer. Phenol is written and CH2. OH is removed from this and H is removed from the neighboring unit. And finally, what you get will be Novolac. It is a linear polymer. It is arranged in a linear manner and one unit is repeated. And condensation occurs between these units and OH is removed from this and the neighboring one H is removed. In the ortho position, here CH2 is there, water is released. So here also condensation occurs, you get Novolac. Next, this Novolac further heating with formaldehyde undergoes cross linkage to form an infusible solid mass called bakelite. It is used for making combs, phonograph records, electrical switches and handles of various utensils. I told already, cooker handles made up of this bakelite. It is heat resistive and even it is a poor conductor of electricity. Now you get here same, if we only this unit is there, it is called, we discussed already, it is Novolac. Now between them again cross link is there, they are connected through CH2 unit, then it is called bakelite. So bakelite is a cross linked polymer. Here also condensation only occurs. And what are the monomers involved in bakelite formation? Phenol and formaldehyde only. Even Novolac also phenol and formaldehyde. Novolac is a linear polymer and bakelite is a cross-linked polymer. Next is melamine formaldehyde polymer. Melamine formaldehyde polymer, it is formed by the condensation polymerization of melamine and formaldehyde. And melamine formaldehyde polymer our unbreakable plates, what we use in our houses, made up of melamine formaldehyde only. So this is melamine, this is formaldehyde. First step, you get an intermediate, directly it is getting attached here, H is removed and just it is attached like our phenol formaldehyde and here melamine and formaldehyde. Then polymerization occurs and from NH2 H is removed, here also H is removed, condenses and here OH is removed and you get a polymer, melamine polymer. So please underline, it is a melamine polymer. It is also condensation polymer only and it is used for making unbreakable crop. Next is copolymerization. Copolymerization is a polymerization reaction in which a mixture of more than one monomeric species is allowed to polymerize and form a copolymer. The copolymer can be made not only by chain growth polymerization but by step growth polymerization also. It contains multiple units of each monomer used in the same polymeric chain. One example here given is Buna S. Buna S, Bu means 1,3-butadiene, CH2 double bond CH, CH double bond CH2 plus styrene. Already I have shown it in the previous video. And what you get is butadiene styrene copolymer. It is nothing but Buna S. So it is two monomers, different monomers are involved. That's why it is copolymer. Next, rubber. Rubber, natural rubber. Rubber is also a natural polymer and possesses elastic properties. It is also termed as elastomer and has a variety of uses. It is manufactured from rubber latex, which is a colloidal dispersion of rubber in water. Natural rubber may be considered as a linear polymer of isoprene. What is isoprene? 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. You write what is butadiene. In that second position, one methyl group is there. It is called 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. So isoprene is a monomer and it is also called as cis 1,4 polyisoprene. So the natural rubber is a polymer of isoprene unit and the polymer we call it as cis 1,4 polyisoprene. And here why 1,4 it is given, you can see here, this is your first carbon, second carbon, third carbon, fourth carbon. So where the polymerization occurs, it is extended first carbon as well as fourth carbon. So that's why it is called 1,4 polyisoprene and CH3 and CH2 groups are in the same side. That's why it is cis. So cis 1,4 polyisoprene. I hope you understood this. So natural rubber is a polymer of isoprene. What is isoprene? 2-methyl-1,3-butadiene. Here the reactions are there. They are arranged in a zigzag manner. And this is one unit. This is another unit. They are extended through first carbon and fourth carbon. Next is vulcanized rubber. Natural rubber becomes soft at high temperature, that is above 335 Kelvin, and brittle at low temperature. That means natural rubber has some bad qualities. It becomes soft at high temperature and brittle at low temperature. And so we have to remove this. Some other qualities also. It absorbs water and it is affected by the oxidizing agents and it dissolves in organic solvents, that is a non-polar solvent. So these qualities should be removed. So for that we have to heat this natural rubber with sulfur and that rubber we call it as vulcanized rubber. On vulcanization, sulfur forms cross links at the reactive sites of double bonds and thus the rubber gets stiffened. So here the structure is given. This is one unit of natural rubber. This is another unit. Now they are connected through what linkage? Sulfur linkage. That rubber we call it as vulcanized rubber. So natural rubber, if you take it is very soft and brittle at low temperature and it melts at high temperature, that is during summer, and it is also soluble in non-polar solvent. It is easily attacked by the oxidizing agents. So to remove these bad qualities, the natural rubber should be heated with sulfur. And while heating with sulfur at 373 to 415 Kelvin, 5% sulfur is taken and it is heated and you get a cross-linked vulcanized rubber and it is chemical resistive and it will not melt, it will not powder. So you see here sulfur cross-link. That rubber we call it as vulcanized rubber. So rubber heating with 5% sulfur, cross-linking agent sulfur, we get a vulcanized rubber. Next is synthetic rubber. Number one is neoprene. Neoprene, it is nothing but polychloroprene because the monomeric unit is chloroprene. Natural rubber means the monomeric unit is isoprene and neoprene means it is chloroprene. So 2-chloro-1,3-butadiene. Isoprene means 2-methyl and chloroprene means 2-chloro. And this polymerizes and you get neoprene. Neoprene is a synthetic rubber. Next is Buna N. And neoprene uses, it is used for manufacturing conveyor belts, gaskets and hoses. Next is Buna N. Buna N is obtained by the copolymerization of 1,3-butadiene and acrylonitrile in the presence of peroxide catalyst. 1,3-butadiene and acrylonitrile, double bond is shifted here to here in the middle, and then here double bond is removed. It is getting attached with this, and this side it is extended, and this is Buna N. Where it is used? It is used for making oil seals, tank lining, etc. It is resistant to the action of petrol, lubricating oil and organic solvents. Next, last topic is biodegradable polymers. Biodegradable polymers means the polymers which can be easily degraded by the microorganism. Such polymers we call it as biodegradable polymers. Example, the number one, the example given is poly beta hydroxybutyrate. Co means it is a copolymer. Beta hydroxyvalerate. This is one monomer and this is another monomer, and they undergo condensation and forming PHBV, poly beta hydroxybutyrate co beta hydroxyvalerate, short form BHBV. B means poly, H means beta hydroxy, B means butyrate, V means valerate. So it is obtained by the copolymerization of 3-hydroxybutanoic acid, 3-hydroxybutanoic acid and 3-hydroxypentanoic acid. Valeric acid means pentanoic acid, and it is used in, it undergoes actually condensation. It is a copolymerization and you get PHBV, and it is used in specialty packaging, orthopedic devices and in controlled release of drugs. It undergoes bacterial degradation in the environment. That's why it is called biodegradable polymer. And the second biodegradable polymer is nylon 2, nylon 6. Nylon 2, nylon 6, it is another copolymer, polyamide copolymer of glycine and aminocaproic acid. It is also biodegradable. The last one is nylon 2, nylon 6. Second biodegradable polymer is nylon 2, nylon 6. Nylon 2, nylon 6, two monomeric units are involved. One is glycine, another is aminocaproic acid. What is glycine? NH2, CH2, COOH. And aminocaproic acid, NH2, CH2, 5 times COOH. This undergoes condensation. It is a copolymer and it gives NH2. From NH2, H is removed, and from COOH, OH is removed, and NH2, H is removed, and COOH, OH is removed, and here H is removed. Here H is removed, here OH is removed, and here H and here OH. You can write the polymer like this. This is also biodegradable. And some other commercially important polymers are tabulated here. One is polypropene. Propene is a monomer and you get polypropene. And where it is used, you can go through this. Next, polystyrene. Styrene is a monomer structure. This we discussed already. Polyvinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride is a monomer and you get polyvinyl chloride. Urea formaldehyde. Urea and formaldehyde are monomers. This is your polymer. Glyptal, ethylene glycol and phthalic acid, and you get a polymer. Bakelite, phenol and formaldehyde. This we discussed already. And bakelite actually cross link you can draw. I hope you understood this unit and try to solve the in-text and exercise questions. In case any doubt is there, please ask me over phone. Thank you, children.